Marvel Rivals is easy.
Maximum pulse! Are you hiding in turrets?
Hey everyone, Jake here, and I love how easy Marvel Rivals is. Now, let me be clear. I am not the shooter guy. I don't like playing these online team-based games because generally I don't want to be overwhelmed with the feeling that I'm not playing my role correctly or just generally underperforming. I pretty much cannot play Pokemon Unite because I'm never really confident that I am doing the right thing. Now, Marvel Rivals is a 6v6 competitive hero shooter, and my first impressions of the closed beta are glowing. How is this possible? How is this possible? Marvel Rivals is pay attention. It's easy. And I'm not trying to say it's easy to win. It's not easy to win, but it has an easy attitude. It's easy to understand what you need to do, and the execution barrier to carry out those tasks is very low. So if you consider something like Monster Hunter or a Souls game, okay, like those, we call those games difficult. And I think we call them that because the games obfuscate how to be successful. Or maybe they just encumber you with controls that are not intuitive. And Marvel Rivals, I think, does the opposite. It's easy to understand, and I think it helps make the game immediately fun. So I actually put together 3 easy things I love about Marvel Rivals. Here's number 1, easy to learn characters. You know, if you put a hero shooter in front of me, I see a bunch of folks with abilities, traits, passive, active, or otherwise, that I need to understand. It's kind of like a fighting game. You need to know your guy, and you need to know the enemy guys so that you can outplay them. Makes sense? I think Marvel Rivals has an immediate advantage here because most of the characters, you know, their kits are what you would assume them to be. My main in Marvel Rivals so far has been Iron Man, and his playstyle, it's all about flying around, trying to get into an advantageous position, and then using his arsenal to suit the situation. So since a lot of us already know these characters, it's very easy to learn them, memorize, and respond to what's going on at any given time. And maybe more importantly than that, just learning the game, I think a lot of us are already so attached and invested in these characters. So it's not just that we understand who they are from a gameplay perspective, but we appreciate and have sentimental value in these characters and understand that there is something there beyond just, you know, you get a new game, you just see the function, you just see what the characters can do, and that's not an issue here. 2, easy to point and shoot. You have to see where I'm coming from here. I'm not the shooter guy. I'm not comfortable playing games. Sometimes games like this, shooting games on a console, I swear to God, it's like the PC was the main platform and something about playing them on a controller, I'm like, this isn't quite right. The game is not reacting the way that my brain is expecting. There's a disconnect between my hands on the controller and what's happening on screen. And something I noticed playing Marvel Rivals on PS5 was that I was always able to do everything I wanted to do. And I think that the third-person perspective just makes everything a little less intense in an online shooter way. And the game becomes more about positioning and using your abilities, which is good because it's easy. And it says, hey, there's institutional knowledge you can carry over from some of the other shooters that you have played. But the actual skills you need here are not those precision, aim down sights, kind of surgical gamer skills. 3, easy attitude. I realized right away that Marvel Rivals is goofy. It is perfectly happy to not be emulating the MCU. And the characters are big and loud and bold in a way that I think is they're making their presence known, which is kind of what you want in a hero shooter. But more than anything gameplay related, I think I was most happy with just the kind of lenience and freedom that the characters were given in this game. Like, look at the Hulk. Okay, the Hulk. We're all familiar with the Hulk. Big green guy, punches stuff. In this game, when you choose to play as the Hulk, first you start out as Bruce Banner. What does Bruce Banner do? They gave him a gun. And every single time you transform into the Hulk in this game, you press the buttons together and he does his ultimate and he transforms into the Hulk. Every single time you undergo that transformation, he yells, "I'm hulking out! I'm hulking out." So I think I see very clearly the kind of person who isn't gonna like Marvel Rivals. And I think I can demonstrate them by illustrating this moment. This might be familiar to some of you more than it is to others. But sometimes I play an online shooter and me and an enemy, we're face to face. We're perfectly even. We have an equal chance of success between the two of us. We fire our guns, and every single time I lose, I die. Every time. That player that I'm facing has some ability that I do not have and cannot reach. And do you know why? Because those games are not easy. Sometimes I even get the jump on people. Like, they will be facing away from me and I will start shooting and I'm so bad that they will turn around and still kill me. There's something not easy about first-person shooters in this way. There is a mechanical skill at play that is hard for people like me to grasp. I'm fine saying that. And in Marvel Rivals, I feel like that skill is not really there. It is obvious in the game whenever I'm doing something right and when I'm doing something wrong. And there's not a crazy skill check in place that keeps me from succeeding. But I think the person that has those skills isn't going to like Marvel Rivals because that's typically the difference maker for them in competitive online environments. And I just thought of this. So this might not be smart. What else is new? I just thought of this, but if you think of Overwatch as a traditional fighting game, knowledge is important, but so are the precise inputs of fighting game, right? If you think of it that way, Marvel Rivals, I think, is actually more like Smash Brothers, in comparison to a typical fighting game, in that it brings everything down a little bit, and I think it makes everything recognizable to your common fool. Anyways, Marvel Rivals, a good, easy game. You will still lose. There will still be people that are cracked and just do nasty stuff. And you go, whoa, that was wild. But I think that the barrier, I think the reach to those skills, to doing what a sicko does in Marvel Rivals, I feel like it's a lot closer to me than when I watch a sicko in Call of Duty, or somebody in Overwatch playing Genji, zipping around, boop, 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 boop. It's what, and there is no clip in Marvel Rivals that's going to make me feel the way that some sicko Genji clip makes me feel from Overwatch. I'm enjoying the closed beta a ton, and the only thing that I'm really worried about, the only thing I'm really hoping, is that the full release is not ruined by weird monetization stuff, because that would not be easy.